Hey guys, it's Doona. So today we're gonna do some fun stuff, something called Chaturanga Dandasana, which it's gonna be in every single class. So this one is really important to get the correct alignment, get the correct form down, okay? Because if not, there's a chance of hurting your wrist, hurting your shoulders, and the goal of the practice is to build more strength and flexibility, right? So we want to really get the form down to really strengthen our bodies the right way, okay? And there's different layers to it, so please watch all the video to see the different layers. Okay, so if you watched day 2, we focus on moving with the breath, so we're going to continue some sun A's as well, so you could get a better understanding of what Chaturanga is. But basically Chaturanga is helping you to get from the top of your mat back to downward facing dog. So it's just a nice transition that's going to help you build strength, flexibility, and then balance and stability. All right, so we're going to get started standing towards the top of your mat, setting up for our sun A flow. Okay, so go ahead and either bring your feet about hip width. Even if your feet are hip width distance apart, I want the knife edges of your feet to be parallel. Okay, otherwise you could always bring your big toes to touch, heel sliver apart, spread the toes out wide. Slightly pull the kneecaps up, firm up through the quads, so your quads and thighs should be pretty strong here. Engage your core, tailbone lengthens down. Lift up through your side waist, but draw your front ribs in towards your back ribs. Stack your shoulders over hips and over your heels. Roll the shoulder heads back, but lift your sternum up. And then let's bring the hands to heart center. Close your eyes. Feel free to tuck your chin towards your chest. Let's take 3 rounds of breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale slowly. Exhale even slower. Inhale, gently blink your eyes open. Exhale, release your arms by your side. Good. From here, rotate your pinky slightly out. On your inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward folds. Feel free to bend your knees, hands to heart, hinge from your hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Create that flat back. Exhale, Chaturanga. I'll show you the first one. You're going to plant your palms, walk your feet back. Shift forward, come onto your tippy toes, shoulders past your wrist, and you're going to lower down halfway, just like a push-up, but make sure the elbows are in. Inhale, upward facing dog, uncurl your toes. Push the floor away. Straighten your arms, and then as you exhale, downward facing dog, uncurl your toes, hips go high. All right, so that was a lot there. So basically that was our Chaturanga. Okay, I want you to go ahead and have a seat. You're probably like, what the heck is going on? That's how I was when I first started practicing yoga. So I'm gonna really break it down to you in different levels, okay? Go ahead, so rather, before we get started with the strap, if you want to grab something with a strap or something that looks like a strap, you could also buy this on Amazon. Anything like a strap will work. Just make sure it's pretty steady because you're going to place this around your forearms and you don't want it to move, okay? So we'll come back to the strap in a little bit. All right, so our Chaturanga, I'm going to demo it again just so you kind of see it. Okay, this is a full Chaturanga. So from the top of your mat, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, so once you're in your high plank, okay, layer 1. If you're still working on building strength, hold here in your high plank. This is a great way to build your entire body strength, okay? Not just your arms, your upper back, your core, your legs, so your entire body. I want you to just hold here. Inhale. Then as you exhale, you're going to push yourself up to downward facing dog. So that's layer 1 in your Chaturanga. Please don't try to force the full Chaturanga if you're not there yet. If you're shaking in your high plank, this is where you need to hold, okay? So you want to always spread your fingers out wide. Wrists underneath the shoulders, okay? If you're a hyperextender like me, try not to lock the elbows. You're just dumping into your joint. So always put that micro bend so that you're working the muscles around the joints, building that strength, okay? So you don't want to over round your back, but you also don't want to dump your chest, okay? So this is retraction and this is protraction. You want to kind of meet in the middle, but you're still pushing your hands into the floor. Try to lift your chest away from your thumbs. Now draw your chest slightly forward. Back of the neck is long. You're not dumping your hips down, okay? So you'll notice if you need to build that strength in your high plank, if you're dumping down, if you're, dumping your chest, you want to feel that strong engagement through your core. Firm up through the quads, legs are straight. Extend through the back of your heel. I want you to hold, okay? And then again, pushing back to downward facing dog. So that's layer 1 in your Chaturanga. Please feel free to take that for the next 30 days if you need to. Otherwise, if you think you're ready to go into layer 2 from your high plank, you're going to drop to your knees. Uncurl your toes. Inhale, draw your chest forward, lengthen your spine. Reach forward. Then as you exhale with your elbows in, you're going to lower halfway down. And then you're going to drop all the way down to your belly. Rather than taking upward facing dog, you're going to take cobra pose. And in cobra pose, bring your big toes to touch, lift your kneecaps, lift your thighs, activate your legs. Palm stays underneath your shoulders, elbows always in. Roll the shoulder heads back, push the shoulders towards the hips, and reach your chest up and forward, okay? Then as you exhale, downward facing dog. You come onto your knees, then press your hips up, okay? So that's layer 2 in your Chaturanga. Layer 3, from your high plank, you could also drop to your knees. This time as you shift forward and take mid-plank, you're gonna come up to upward facing dog, okay? So in your upward facing dog, you wanna press the tops of your foot down, lift your thighs, firm up the quads. Micro bend your elbows, especially if you're hyperextending. Push your hands into the floor and lift your chest. Now this is too much for your lower back. Tuck your tailbone. And then you could always draw the chest forward to lengthen the lower back even more. Roll the shoulder heads back. Open your chest. Gaze either forward or feel free to gaze up. Then exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, that's layer 3. Layer 4. Okay, it's going to be the full Chaturanga. And I'll demo it again from high plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down mid-plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, so you got 4 layers there. It's always best to work your way up. So if you're being stubborn and you want to do your Chaturanga, but it looks like this, you're dumping your hips down, you're shaking, you're dumping your body down, your core isn't engaged, and you want to continue to do your upward facing dog this way, you're not building strength. You're actually hurting yourself for the future and more chance of hurting yourself in the practice. So again, I want you to work yourself Work your way up. Either hold in layer 1, 2, or 3. All right? So once you're in your downward facing dog, I'm going to go over our down dog. It's the really, really important pose. We will be doing this pose in every single class. So I always like to set up my down dog from high plank. Okay? Wrists underneath the shoulders, fingers spread out wide, index fingers points forward. Then from there, I'll push my hips up. So you don't want your down dog too short, right? And then also, you don't want your down dog rounding your back. The goal of down dog is finding that length through your spine, okay? Feel free to bend your knees a lot, especially if you have tight hamstrings. Bend your knees a lot, as much as you need. Then roll your inner thighs back so your heels slightly lift out. Lift your toes if you can, again, if the hamstrings are okay with it. Lengthen through the lower back, lift your hips. Push your hands into the floor, but drop your neck and your ear away from your shoulders. And if you're super, super flexible like me, try not to dump into the chest, okay? So you want to keep the biceps next to the ears. Then roll the outer triceps in, hug the outer triceps in. Then broaden through the upper back, elongate through the back of your neck. I know there's a lot going on, so if you're confused, I want you to rewind this video and continue watching this video until you get it down, okay? So I'm gonna do it from Sun A one more time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga. Again, option layers. Layers 1, 2, 3, or 4. Inhale. Exhale. Good job, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to show you one quick drill to do if you're working on getting into layer 4. You're going to grab a strap, hook it, and place it around your tricep, so right above the elbows, okay? So you want the strap to be about shoulder width apart, okay? This is going to help you so I'll show you this way. So a lot of times in our Chaturanga, our elbows tend to go out, okay? We don't want the elbows to go out, hurting our wrist, even through our elbows. So we want to draw the elbows in, okay? So this is what's going to help you keep the elbows in, and it's going to help you build more strength. Okay, so you're going to place the strap right above the elbows, and I'm going to take layer 3 for you guys, okay? So if you're working on with the knees down, perfect. From your high plank, drop your knees, inhale, shift forward, and then exhale, mid-plank. So now it's really hard to dump your body. It's helping you to stay lifted, okay? Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, okay? So that's the drill for you to do at home. It's a great way to build strength. Please try it and let me know. So if you have any questions, comments, please DM us below, or you could always comment below. Thank you.